Hey, what's up, guys? Just finished watching Mohawk, sent to me by the good people over at Dark Sky Films. This is available for purchase on April 10th if you guys are interested. Just to go over the storyline real quick, is without giving too many spoilers away, this movie takes place during the Battle of 1812 between the U.S. and British. And you have a group of Mohawk who are trying to stay out of it. They're trying to stay neutral and everything and not take sides. But you do have a British soldier who is with this group of Mohawk. And you have the characters of Oak, Calvin, and Joshua. Joshua, who is the British soldier who is with them. And the character of Calvin, just to not spoil everything for you guys, but what sets things into play for this whole film is he takes out a group of U.S. soldiers while they're sleeping of like 20-something people, and that sets a turn of events to where this small group of U.S. soldiers go out on the hunt for this group of Mohawk. And there is a time where this soldier runs into the U.S. soldiers as well, and they're trying to figure out whose side he's on and everything like that. Then they realize that he's with the Mohawks, so they're after him as well. And that takes up a good, probably the first hour of this film is going back and forth between these two groups. There's a point in time where the character of Calvin is captured by the U.S. soldiers, and they do some pretty gruesome torturing to him to try to get him to tell where the other two are hiding, and of course he won't give up his people and everything like that. I'm not going to tell you what the end result of that is or anything. You guys will just have to watch it to find out. But there's a lot of like I say, a lot of back and forth between that group of U.S. soldiers and that small group of Mohawk going after each other. The U.S. are trying to capture them and bring them back to Fort George for reward money and everything like that. Some of them want to just head back to the fort and not look for them anymore after a series of events that take place, and they're feeling like they're losing too many of their people, and it's not a good idea to keep going after them. But like I say, the first hour or so takes involves that back and forth with it, and then the last half an hour you start to get more of a different vibe to the film, more I don't want to say necessarily horror elements, but you do get some times where the woods that they're in, I mean, most of this movie takes place in the woods, pretty much all of it really, and the woods start playing mind games with the U.S. soldiers and everything like that. And the character of Oak here on the front is something happens to her to where she becomes kind of a different person. She kind of becomes somebody else and altogether. And you do have a side story in here as well between her and Calvin and Joshua, kind of like a love triangle going on with some other elements involved as well. Like I say, I'm not going to give everything away. I don't want to spoil everything for you guys. I'm trying not to tell you all the events that happen in a row like I do on some of my reviews for older films, because this is a new movie. A lot of people have not seen this at the time of watching this review, so I want to keep everything kind of a surprise for you guys. But this is from the same writer and director as We Are Still Here, which is a movie that I really enjoyed a lot. Really loved the atmosphere of that film, really loved the unsettling feel throughout it. It just had a really good vibe to it, and that's kind of what I expected from this. But this is more of a straight action movie for the most part, like I say, except for that last half an hour where things start to get a little bit weird. And there is times in here as well where the character of Oak has some visions while she's sleeping and other things like that of some weird imagery and everything that's kind of darker scenes. But for the most part, like I say, it's pretty much a straight up action flick more than anything. And but you really do feel for the characters in this film, especially the three main Mohawk, you really have compassion for them. Mainly the Oak character, you really feel for her a lot. And there's a couple of the U.S. soldiers that you start to get a little bit attached to as well. So it does have good character development, which is kind of something that gets lost in a lot of movies, and especially nowadays. But this is definitely a different kind of film. It's kind of hard to classify what this is, but it kind of, like I said, blurs the lines between action and horror a little bit there in the last half an hour or so. As the end finale is really, really good too, where two people, I'm not going to say who, but two people pretty much fight to the death and everything. You do have some scenes of torture and things like that when the one character gets captured, but other than that, it's just focuses mainly on the colonel of the U.S. soldiers, his determination to find these people and give them what he believes they deserve and everything, and his guys not wanting to necessarily go along with his plan, and they just want to get out and be done and get back to Fort George there on the other side of the woods. And they think it's a bad idea, and he has his mind set on just finding them and killing them and making things even, I guess, in his eyes. But you do have blood here and there. You do have a couple scenes of gore, especially towards the torture scene is not necessarily gory, but it is a little unnerving at times, the things that they do to this character. And you do have some gore there towards the end of the film as well. But overall, it's not anything extreme, over the top, or nothing like that. But I say it is definitely a different take on that time period. And it was nice to see a war type film, or at least in that time frame of the war, of just smaller groups and not like your big battles. Because there was a lot of other things that go on in wars than what you see in a lot of films, where this side is battling that side, big massive groups of people. You see stuff that happens on the sidelines as well. And I did like probably two of the characters in the U.S. soldier side that I actually kind of liked. I think the one guy's name was Bill. He was really cool. He has like these glasses that come out pretty far, like goggle type things, and one's like real dark because he's lost an eye in previous battles, and the other side you can still see out of. He's like the tracker guy that they use, and they have another guy with him that's a translator between them and the Mohawk. And you kind of learn a little bit about the characters as well. And I forget the other guy's name, but he's got like a leg brace on, and you find out later on, a little bit about that and everything. So there is quite a bit of character development in this film, and you really do feel for some of the characters, which is nice. But it's definitely, like I say, a different take on this time period. And some of you might enjoy it more than I did, which I really hope that you do. And so that's going to do it for this review, guys, of Mohawk. And I'll leave you guys with the trailer to this film as well. And let me know down below what you guys think of this movie if you get a chance to check it out and everything. So that's going to do it for this review. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye.
They're going to kill us all if we don't fight.
We are in a valley, surrounded by a ridge. To the north, there's a river. To the east, there's a war. You will not live to see tomorrow. Not because of what you did, because of who you are.
We need to move. Oksa!
I want the demons to leave and I will fight.
They're over there! We are advancing with speed after the enemy.
Now we have to get back and tell the people we're at war.
So if I were to allow one more of your kind to kill one more white man, you could not face my lord on Judgment Day. Aren't you worried about her? Being out here in the woods all alone?
No, but you should be.
We should have never come here.
This is our home.
Then your home will burn.
There's something in these woods!
This is Mohawk land. We're in their house.